All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode 9 of the State of Hockey podcast. We've got some fun stuff planned for you today. We've got some recaps. I came up with a bit of an ideal offseason in a similar format to the trade deadline. Cole has not seen it yet, so he's going to do a bit of a blind reaction to it. And then we've got a little bit more at the end in relation. I'll save it for later, though.
Let's go.
First game, good start to the recap. 5-0 domination of the Utah Mammoth. You can't see it in the bottom right, though. Gus had a 2.13 goals saved above expected. What a banger. Kirill Kaprizov had a few beautiful goals, the one falling down from his knees. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you haven't, go check it out. Gus got his shutout, obviously. And then Bobby Brink, a la Paul Correa, that's the reference there. He goes down, gets hurt, dirty hit from Logan Cooley. And then he comes back later in the game in front of his hometown crowd, a bunch of family and friends in attendance, scores a nice goal of his own, his first with the Wild.
Don't forget that Euro goal too. There
Oh, that shit was nasty.
Insane.
That shit was nasty. I can't believe I didn't even mention it.
Djokovic in nets, I think. Whoever's in nets for the Mammoth, he was raging after the fifth goal, just broke his stick.
Yeah.
On the pipe. It was a very fun game to watch. I'm sure the whole recap will
definitely be like that. We played really good the whole way, trust. Uyghur got fucking dog walked by Yurov, though. Good mention. We can see here Kaprizov. There's his goal from Tarasenko. Boldy from Johansson and Ek. God, I love that line so much. Bobby Brink, solo goal. Yurov, that we talked about, again, from Tarasenko. Hughes gets involved as well. And then Hartman rounds it out from Foligno and Kaprizov, like you said, the Mammoth goalie. I think it was Karel Vejmelka raging in net. That was really fun. 55% face-offs. Awesome. Love that. 0-4 on the power play. Don't love it as much. But we did get to 30 shots. That's nice.
Mammoth do a very good PK.
They do. And Vejmelka's a good goalie. Like, he's been good this year, actually. Pretty sneakily. I think he has, like, the most wins in the entire NHL because they don't have a real backup. Here we go next, though. Now that we're not playing a good team, we're not playing good either. How fun. If you look at XG in the top right, you can see that we probably should have won this. Wallstedt didn't have a great outing. Not terrible by any means, but it just wasn't good. Really shouldn't have lost this one. I have no idea how he did.
Yeah, you can see all that orange in the bottom left of your screen. These are the highest defensive numbers you'll ever see our defensive core put up. Save Jonas Brodin against the Oilers. But unfortunately, that was just a night that we did not have a great game for Wallstedt. And you'll see on the next slide, having 2 shots in a period does not win you a game. No.
That was the first, I believe. Yeah, 10-2. A really shit start. Kind of came out of the gates of the firing a little bit better in the second and third. But we just fell apart. Just couldn't get it done. Can't believe we lost that. One of the face-off battle again, but 23 shots against the Philadelphia Flyers. Their goaltending is so bad. I feel like whenever we play teams with really shitty goaltending, we just never really get to test them properly. And then, yeah, there you go. Boldy scores a power play goal, though, from Zuccarello and Hughes, and Kaprizov grabs his own from Faber and Hughes. The usual suspects scoring there.
Yeah, and another thing worth noting, too, they did go 0-4 on the power play, the Flyers. But when you're getting penalties, I believe it was this game we were on the penalty kill most of overtime.
Yeah.
When you're doing that and then you're forced to go into a shootout against the highest percentage shooter in Trevor Zegras of all time in the shootout.
Crazy.
Granted, he didn't score this game, but neither did Boldy, so can't really rely on a shootout win against this type of team. And we did not win it. As you can see, shootout loss. So yeah, really, really shit game. There's going to be a recurring trend here where we played a very good 40 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, and there's just one period in there that's a fucking dud.
Yeah.
The overtime also sucked, so it was exactly 40 minutes. Like you said, PK going into it, Hughes takes a terrible one coming out. He tries to go around Zegras for some reason. Zegras is fast like Hughes. He's a good enough skater. Instead of trying to just circle back, which Hughes is good at, it probably would have got him. Tries to like make a move to get through him and go around him. Zegras steals it, and then he trips him. That was pretty bad. They get another power play. We shut him down. But then you come to the shootout, and the Wild are super fucking frustrating to watch in the shootout, which makes no sense. They have such a nice team on paper for a shootout. Zuccarello just hasn't been putting him away lately, which is whatever. I mean, it's playoff season almost, so it's fine. But Boldy too, and then Kaprizov and Tarasenko, that's where you really have to be hard on those guys, because first off, why is Tarasenko shooting? But those guys, they just don't want to make a move at all. You have a nice shot, but you got to at least sell something else before going just straight to that. The scouting report just says these fucking dummies shoot. Just wait for them to make the first move, and then you can do something. And that's what the goalies do every time, and it works every time because they're not being very creative.
Yeah, I want to see a Brock Faber. I want to see a Quinn Hughes, Marcus Johansson. I even want to see Bobby Brink in the shootout.
Yeah.
I want to see someone who's not those four or those.
Give me Hunter
two,
Haight.
Kaprizov and Tarasenko. I mean, you have. It's the same reason we have Kaprizov in every overtime, even when we lose the draw, because you have to start your star player and stuff like that. You have to have him third in the shootout because he's paid the most in the league. You have to play him.
And at least he scores in 3-on-3 OT.
Yeah, and in the shootout, he is like 20%, but Tarasenko, I don't think he's scored a goal this season in the shootout. And he's been playing good, too. It's like, I don't know, man.
Probably the entire 2020s decade. Fuck my life, man.
So
Next game. Rangers. Tale of two goalies is a very nice way of putting it. Coming off of a pretty good start, a shutout, obviously, for Gus. He had a bit of a dud. Negative 1.36 goals saved above expected in the bottom right there. This really wasn't like for lack of effort. Just we got the door slammed in our face by Igor Shesterkin. He had a great game. I think he had 40-some saves, but he also was involved in a play that led to the injury of Joel Eriksson Ek. I wouldn't blame him for this. I mean, Ek was cutting across the crease, which is an area you're not supposed to go technically, but Shesterkin goes out of his way to bump into him and then falls over. Like, Ek just cross-checked him from behind. The Rangers see their star goalie fall over, and they just jump him. And I believe it was in this scrum that Joel Eriksson Ek got injured, and he's missed every game since. So, not a huge fan of that.
Rangers seem to tank, bro. Like, Shesterkin's like, we don't want that draft pick. I don't want someone good in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another recurring trend here.
48 to
our
18.
penalty, granted this game we did give them a power play goal, but our penalty kill has been better, and we've been winning faceoffs pretty much every game, and now we're losing games.
What
I don't
the
know,
fuck?
man. I don't know.
Maybe it was our team identity.
And we have more identity, guys, too. We have more depth.
Yeah, I don't get
Yeah,
it.
you can see here again. Neither team really did much in the first, but they did. I think they scored 3 in the first, or 3 in the first and early second. And then we had 42 shots in the second and third, but it doesn't matter because they had Shesterkin. They had 1 shot in the third, and it doesn't matter.
21-1 shots in the third period. I couldn't believe that I had to take a closer look there.
That might be the most lopsided of any period this season of any game.
Boldy grabs one from Hughes, and Gustafsson gets the assist there because Hughes gave him like a little stretch pass on the power play. I'm pretty sure that signature move of his. And then Yurov grabs one in another second and third games from Tarasenko and Trenyan, the Krem line, connecting for one there. So at least you have that as a takeaway, I guess. But not a great game either. At least we got some shots on. It was better than the Flyers game and this next one coming up, but not a great game.
I would say it was a great game besides their goaltender. At least great second and third. Like, I think any other goaltender, besides maybe like Sorokin or Vasilevsky or something, we would have had like 5 or 6 goals.
Fuck.
So many high danger chances. You see 1 for 7 on the power play too. That is mostly just goaltending. We were ripping shots all game.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Rangers defense was doing nothing. They just had their guy in net.
Shout out Adam Fox. Maple Leafs game.
Oh no, 82-17.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh no.
Wallstedt, bottom right, minus 1.48 goals saved above expected. Zuccarello, Hartman, and Tarasenko, the guys that were involved in our 2 goals, had a great game. Everybody else, not so much. You can see, but Faber Hughes pairing did pretty bad. I think they got split up after this game as a result. Yeah, oof. I'd take the Rangers game over this one any days. Expected goals 4.6 to 2.31. And the score was 4-2 for the other team. That doesn't make sense.
Look at those Jeff Petrie stats too.
What a beast!
Like, if he's got 1.14 and it's all offense, he should be winning that game. Come on.
Yeah, but he was our best. So.
Oh my god.
38 shots, so fair enough. But yeah, highlighting the Tarasenko heater here in this big one, this big photo. 8 points, 5 goals in 11 games. Good work, Vladdy. I made a bet with my dad in like November when he had 2 goals or something, and he was getting those top line minutes to start the season. It's like, yeah, he's had something about getting to 25, and I was like, bull fucking shit. But he might just do that now. Might be buying a dinner that I didn't think I would be coming up soon. Anyways, 38-26 in the shots. We do lose the face-off battle because Tavares and Matthews are disgustingly good at face-offs. Can't really hate on that one there. We were pretty close to 50% mark. Um, just a difference in goaltending really here again. A couple a little bad stretch of play for our goalies post that Utah shutout. Don't really want to talk about this game anymore. You got any last words on it?
Yeah, good job, Tarasenko. Keep doing it. Let's move on, bro.
Okay, sweet.
Let's move on.
Blackhawks game. Okay, all right.
This is the one you won.
We'll take it.
4-3.
We'll take it.
Another
We beat
4-3.
a non-playoff team, so that's a luxury for us at this point. Holy Brock Faber.
Just everywhere, bro.
Maybe a slump buster? I don't know. But who saved it for us was the aforementioned Brock Faber and Marcus Johansson. Big 3-point nights for those guys. I think Gus had another incident where he had to leave the game again. I think he threw up or something again. But he was okay. He was right about dead even in expected goals. Wallstedt stepped in and was really good. They faced some pretty high danger shots in his 3 minutes and 27 seconds of playing time. I'll take this one. They made it scary late, but I'll take a win here.
Oh, yeah.
Great OT winner as well. And this was Zuccarello from Johansson and Faber. Great play. It was Johansson that circled the zone. Got it to Zuccarello for that game winner. Johansson's goal earlier in the game was his first in 15 games, as you see that it says right there. We got 37 shots total. I'll take that. Decent numbers again. We won the face-off battle 58.3% against a bad Chicago team at the dot, which we should be winning, so good job. Yeah, win's a win at this point in the season. You get the 2 points. Got to get closer to Dallas.
Yeah, and it was great here. You mentioned that overtime goal. Great. You see Faber on the secondary assist, but he did a lot on that play too. Making a nice screen to leave Zuccarello wide open. Yeah, good. I mean, good game. We finally, like you said, beat a non-playoff team. Surely carries over when we play that same team at home 2 days later.
Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, great.
No.
This was kind of just a mid-off this whole game. Not a whole lot happened. You can see Hunter Haight was our best player. I mean, he played a great game. That's not a diss to Hunter Haight. He's awesome. He's been great since he came up. But that shouldn't be happening. You're not going to win games with that. He's not our best player. Yeah, 24-25 Wild cause play here. Kaprizov and Ek being out. Good end to the game, good third period, but again, it was probably 40 minutes of good play from us. Couldn't fully do it. I did want to highlight this one funny moment here when because Donato, per Michael Russo, was the one that got Kaprizov hurt in the last game, kind of on an awkward hit. And he's not seriously hurt as of that we know of right now. We're recording this on Sunday. But he has missed a couple because of it, and they came to after the whistle, there was a scrum. Donato was there. McCarron saw him, instantly sheds the mitts, starts beating on him. He's defenseless. Middleton joins in. They literally jumped him. They go to the box. McCarron gets an extra penalty because he did jump. It was very justified extra penalty. And watching it live, you can see him mouthing to Donato, like you can read his lips. You're on the worst fucking team in the league. Like, you have no help, buddy. Over and over again, you have no help. You have no help. Just shit talking the dude. It was very hilarious. It was very funny. Of course, we ended up losing. That wasn't fun, but yeah, that was nice. I saw this on Instagram. I don't diss Quinn Hughes, not over here, but it was pretty interesting. And you definitely do miss Marco Rossi right now when you have no hurt centers, but if you have Marco Rossi, you don't have Quinn Hughes. I'll take Quinn Hughes every day. But yeah, Nico Sturm scores a nice goal from Hunter Haight. He gets his first point, and Brock Faber gets the other assist. We, again, win the face-off battle. You can see there 54%. Been doing that a lot lately. Just no wins in 4 of 5. That was pretty strange, like you said. Good.
McCarron's our face-off guy.
Yes.
He can't play top minutes. I would like to note in this game, I think this was the first game with Kaprizov out, and then this is the first game where we're mixing up all our lines. 2 of our best players out, right after adding 4 new guys in the depth. Our lines are everywhere. Not to mention this is either the first or second game that we split up Hughes and Faber, which I do actually like.
I think it was the second, yeah.
They can both play drive their own lines now, because Faber, you saw in his first 2 years, he was a play driver, and now he has to sit back playing with Hughes, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but when you can split them up and have 2 defensive guys like Spurgeon and Brody and on 2 different lines, that allows both Faber and Hughes to drive the play from the blue line on their own, which I think is good, and I think if we keep it like that the rest of the season, it'll work out. So I actually do like that move.
I do as well. And now here's my question: come playoff time, do you think is that something that you would you'd want to continue, or do you want to see
I
Faber and Hughes back
I was just
together?
gonna say that I think it's situational. I think in a 0-0 game or a close game or a game we're winning, I think we put them together and have a good defensive pair in Spurgeon and Brodeen against their top lines. But I think if we're down, especially like you saw in the Stars game, which we'll get to, and I think in this game as well, splitting them up just to get more offense and less 100% defense, but more defense across the board, I think is definitely what we'll end up doing. But yeah, just a game where I don't know, just like whatever the fuck's happening with the lines. It is
Yeah.
like the worst team in the league, but like I'm not too mad about this loss as compared to some of the ones we already went over. And you'll see in the next game. I think we are getting kind of back onto the right track. I want to say, I don't know,
I'm
my
not
thoughts.
worried. My gripe at this point is just that it's the difference between home ice and not having home
Mm-hmm.
ice in the first round. I don't know. I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm not worried.
Yeah.
What I will say to the Faber and Hughes thing is that my only hang up or where I have question marks come playoff time is that if you do split them, it has to be Hughes and Spurgeon, just handedness.
Mm-hmm.
That's a small pairing. I don't love that against Dallas. I do think since we're a team that prioritizes like that size, you saw at the deadline the
Mm-hmm.
guys that we added. So I don't. I think situationally they can be utilized, and if they're just having a real fucking shitter of a night together defensively, then you would want to maybe split them up. But for the most part, I'd rather see them together. That's just my 2 cents on that, though. Let's move on to that playoff opponent that we're gonna have, Dallas.
Oh boy.
This was a great game. Well, you go ahead and start this one.
Yeah, this was I don't know. We're gonna get 7 games of this probably. Either way, I think at this point this series is going to 7. I think it's a guarantee for this to happen, especially because as we are recording, Colorado just won another game. They clinched their berth yesterday or
Two,
2 days ago or
yeah.
something. Um, and I think the Stars and Wild do play each other. The Stars also play the Avalanche one more time. I think the Avalanche will win that. So I think, like you said, this is a lock for a first round matchup, and it is going to be a banger. We saw here, Wild came out hot to start, got a penalty, Stars scoring 11 seconds. What else is new? Wild grind back, get a game time goal, and then a beautiful overtime winner, courtesy of Dallas defenseman Jason Robertson. He's not a defenseman. I'm hating on his defense.
Oh, very worthy as well.
Very
Yeah.
worthy. Yeah, just a great game. Like you said, playoff atmosphere. All 60, 7 games of this. Let's see it. Crowd was hyped. I was hyped. Dylan was hyped. We're all hyped.
Packed barn, sold out for a month in advance, and it's Bobby Brink having the legacy game. When all those people bought those tickets, he wasn't on the team, but he sure showed up tonight against the hated Dallas Stars. Great effort on that breakaway, sweet pass from Quinn Hughes on the first goal. A little shoulder fake, then he does go back or forehand backhand, roofs it. Ottinger bites on the fake. That's Lakeville on Minnetonka action right there. And then in OT, as you mentioned, Hughes cutting across, draws a guy with him, brings it over to Brink. Jason Robertson lazily follows them. There's 3 guys on one Bobby Brink in the corner. Hughes is at the point, and you have a wide open Tarasenko, who his legs might be gone, but the shot never leaves. Great OT winner. Nothing Andre could do. He was probably pretty pissed off after that. Face-off percentage kind of might be cut off here, but it's 61% for Dallas. Not great. But we did win, so whatever. But
We won the important face-offs.
yeah. And what I will say is face-off percentage, that's one thing. You can go 39%, we'll call it, for a series and win. The power play, I'm actually more concerned about. Not today. We did really good today. But Dallas's power play is so good. If we need to keep it probably below like about or 25% or below to really have a real good shot in this series, in my personal opinion. But it was very even play regardless. Special teams 5-on-5 all the way through. Very physical. Robertson laid Hughes out in the first. Good game, and the Wild responded very well. Brink scores from Hughes and Spurgeon, and then obviously Tarasenko, that OT winner from Brink and Hughes. Great ending to the recap. I'm really excited for that first round matchup. I think it'll be great. I think we have the team necessary for that. Both teams is worth noting because we were missing Kaprizov and Ek. Obviously, we won that game, very impressive. But Dallas was also missing Hintz and Rantanen, so they're 1C and their best winger as well. Even playing field, and it showed. It was peak.
Yeah, I would couple things to add here. first off, the power play, they did score on that one, but we killed the other four, especially that double minor. We had the better chances on that one. Penalty kill was great,
Yeah,
but like you said, they're missing Rantanen, who I believe replaces Duchesne on that PP1.
that sounds
I
right.
think because they keep Jamie Benn and the other two, and
Maybe
then
Ben,
obviously
but I don't know.
Heiskanen. And we're missing Eck, who we usually don't start on the penalty kill. If we play him, he sees like 30 seconds per kill because we have so many guys like Sturm, McCarron, Trenyan, Boldy now.
Johansson plays it a lot.
Johansson, Nick Foligno, sometimes Marcus Foligno too. So their power play will be better. Our penalty kill will be like maybe slightly better. And if you want to go back a slide here too, going back to what you said about Hughes and Spurgeon, small size defensive pairing.
Look at how they
the
did.
Dallas team. Look
Fair
at
enough.
those orange numbers.
Fair enough. Stats don't lie.
And I will say, I do think that is more not because of Hughes and Spurgeon themselves, but because the rest of our forward core is just so fucking big, it doesn't matter that our defense is small.
That's true. I like that.
So, yeah, I think Hines and Garrett will see that and maybe keep it. Obviously, or honestly, our entire defense was phenomenal
Yeah.
this game. We shut them down pretty good, and I also think our depth is deeper. I mean, we probably are the deepest team in the league just because we have so many fucking forwards. But that was shown here. Our depth was out competing their depth. So yeah, just something to note there.
True. Good observations. All right. That was a good recap. We are now going to move on. Look at my ideal deadline. Okay, we're going back into this. I spent a lot of time on this, actually. I tried to do a bunch of different versions. There's a lot of guys I want for us to get this offseason. But, spoiler alert, money's tight. Let's look at this here. The UFAs include Zuccarello, Johansson, Tarasenko, McCarron, all really important guys this season, as well as Bogosian. Obviously, he's been playing every night. And then you've got those newer guys in Fabry, Foligno, and Petrie. And then we have RFAs like Bobby Brink, Damon Hunt. Charlie Stramel is not an RFA, but he is like obviously a very important piece that and he's gonna be. I think he needs a contract. He needs to sign. He needs to sign his first deal with an NHL team. He does not have a professional contract yet. So this is for the 2026 offseason, obviously, and that is when Kaprizov's new 8-year deal with the $17 million cap hit kicks in. The cap rises $8.5 million for 26-27, and Kaprizov's pay raise alone is an additional $8 million to the cap. And that doesn't mean we have $500,000 in cap space because we're going to move pieces around, but I mean, that's pretty serious. You'll see here once we start looking at it, money's tight.
Yeah, I would like to say here, you may be thinking, oh, we gained 8.5 and he only went up 8. We have 500K extra. The minimum league is going to go up and everyone else is going to want more too, just in case there are any thoughts
Yeah.
Kaprizov's not the only one who's going to want more pay.
The league minimum, I think, is $850K now. And then...
That sounds right.
Yeah, again, like you said, everybody's going to want more. Prices are going up. The cap should continue to go up as well. I think we know it's going to for the next 2 years. Beyond that, the numbers are looking good for the NHL. I would imagine it continues to rise. Let's get into it, though. We'll start with the big one, the Quinn Hughes contract. And it's really not the main priority for this offseason. You do need that center, that really good center, to fully complete this lineup. But you don't want to go into the training camp and the start of next season with the media storm around your franchise number one defenseman that you traded a fucking haul for last December being unsigned, and everybody's like, oh, he's going to go to New Jersey, this, that, and the other. Once that starts to get loud, it gets to be an uncomfortable atmosphere. So we don't want that to happen. Just let's get it done. What I would say for a hypothetical Hughes extension is that $14.5 million cap hit for 3 years. And you're probably thinking, why would we not sign Quinn Hughes long term? That is when Jack Hughes' contract ends. And I think those guys, you watch them at the Olympics, more so than any other brothers, you can compare them to the Kachucks, and I think they're light years. Their desire to play with their brother is like significantly higher than anybody else's. They just have like this whatever bond, whatever brotherly love, all that fun stuff. And I think that would be something that that Quinn Hughes would go after. I don't know if that'd be the first thing that's mentioned in negotiations, but I think that would be like an unspoken thing that they're like, okay, we'll respect that. We just want you to sign. And I know that I get the vibe that he wants to sign here too. I think he likes it in Minnesota, all that. So they'll meet in the middle at this deal. Quinn Hughes will be able to expire there. This $14.5 million, I feel like, is a lot. You know, you see Kaprizov, you see this deal, that's a lot of money to 2 players, but that's pretty fair compensation for a guy of that caliber. You've got a couple top 5, top 15 guys that have signed recently around that mark. Draisaitl's at 14. Eichel and Marner are in like the $13-ish million range. Yeah, I don't know. What would your ideal Quinn Hughes contract be?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to lock him down for 8, but I think like you said, just signing for 3, letting him know that we can re-sign you at the same time we re-sign your brother. Um, Obviously this leaves a lesser question in what do they do with Luke Hughes then? Because they're gonna see Jack Hammer and they'll be like, oh, we want Luke too, and then we're gonna have to sign him too, and he just signed like a 9/7 or something, and I don't know, it's gonna get a little messy there no matter what. Trying to get 3 people onto one team when you only have one of them is a weird situation. Um, but I think they're going to prioritize Jack, and I think that would be all we need to get them both to stay. So I do like this. Um, yeah, obviously a lot of money, like you said, for 2 players, but we're going to have
I'll pay Quinn Hughes whatever he wants,
a lot of money. Get him whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Let's just stay contenders. That's what we need.
But let's look to players that we're going to add or take away this season. So I've got 2 trades to suggest here. The first trade is a deal with Calgary because we need to move some of that cap around. Jake Middleton is sitting at a $4.4 million cap hit for 2 years after 25-26. If we want to add pieces, that's not going to work. So we trade him and Carson Lambos, one of our better defensive prospects, but not like this like superstar in the making, I feel like, as well as a pick to Calgary for Braden Paschal. I'm gonna go with Paschal. He is a third pairing right shot defenseman who makes 1.2 million. He's not an analytical darling, but he's not a liability. He's 26. He's decent enough. He'll replace Zach Bogosian, and I say Zach Bogosian instead of Jake Middleton because he's right shot. But then also that allows Damon Hunt on the left to come up and play every day for the Wild, and I would really like to see that happen. He's been awesome when he plays. If Middleton's going to be gone and we'll have that extra cap space, who else would you want there? I'd like to have Hunt. And then trade 2, there we go. We get Vincent Trocheck eventually. This is a disaster piece from Chris Drury if this is what happens, and I think if we're going to get a center, this is a really likely option, again, considering the salary cap. He could have got a lot more for him at the deadline if he was a little bit lesser. I don't know if this exact package, which is Stramel, a 27 first and a 26 third, would be what it would take. Maybe be less, maybe be more. As long as it's nothing crazy, 2 firsts, adding like a Yurov. I would want to get it done because I think we really do still need another top 6 center. And then we'll make some re-signings. Obviously, you got Hunt as an RFA. You got to get him re-signed. You want McCarron back, I would imagine. He's been just perfect since we got him. I didn't love giving up a second for him, but he's been so awesome. I've already forgotten about it. And then Tarasenko, he's got 20 on the year. Like I said, doubted him early in the year, but he's been great. I'd like to see him come back, play on that third line. And then Zuccarello. Of Zuccarello and Johansson are top 6 wingers that are older and might be retiring. I think it's more likely that it's Johansson that's done and Zuccarello that stays.
Yeah, I do think, like you said, Johansson is, obviously he played his 1,000th game this season. He's kind of having a Cinderella year. I do think he'd be able to keep up most of that production maybe just next season, but I think Zuccarello would be more likely to do that, and same with Tarasenko. He's only like 33 or 34 compared to 38 in Johansson. Going to the Calgary trade, I do like it. Getting rid of cap dump. Lambos we won't use. A 7th is just to be like kind of dangled in front of them a little more.
They want picks.
Seeing the deadline here, Calgary is going to gobble this up because they just love getting more picks. They love getting more prospects. They are embracing the tank. Everyone be like Calgary. Do that, please. Speaking to the Rangers. And yeah, jump. I tried to say dump Middleton. I don't know why I said jump. Middleton's the one doing the jumping. Those who know. But yeah, get rid of more cap space. Calgary has plenty of cap space, so I love that trade. Rangers trade, I think it's the same exact thing we were hoping for earlier this year. But I think over the summer, Drury's going to be like, oh shit, we didn't do it at deadline. Now we're going to get less. Let's get rid of him using this package while we still can before we have to give him away for even cheaper. Assuming they rebuild. Who knows? This is all assuming the Rangers actually fucking rebuild, which they never want to do.
They could just go sign Alex Ovechkin. You never fucking know.
And the re-signings, I like these. I like these numbers too. Honestly, yeah, I like all of them. Maybe Hunt a little bit less as of now.
Right.
Maybe like 1.5, 1.75. Just because he's good, but he hasn't really done anything yet. He's played like maybe 10, 15 games this season, I think. Like you said, when he has been playing, he's good, but I don't think it's worth like $2 million good. The rest of it, love it.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's see. This is the full roster. I've got Kaprizov, Trocheck, Zuccarello. We've talked about this in our deadline episode, or like when I said what I wanted for my ideal deadline. Trocheck's the perfect center for them, wins a bunch of faceoffs, good defensively. He would also be able to play on that penalty kill, but he wouldn't need to. We kind of have a bunch of guys for that, like we talked about. Um, just going to be out front of the net to finish off whatever passing magic those two cook up. Pretty great. And then the second line, I've got Yurov moving up. I've talked about this a lot as well. He's just has won like 38% of his faceoffs all year. I'd like to see him moved up, play with better players. I think he can outperform Marcus Johansson next year in that role. And then you have a guy in Ryan Hartman who is like 8 to 10% better at the faceoff dot than him on a third line with Tarasenko and Trenyan. I like that third line. You keep Hartman around. He's just a good identity guy as well. And then this is like my dream fourth line here. I talked about Sturm, Foligno, Trenyan for a while, but with McCarron here, he's kind of taken Trenyan's place on that fourth line. Super physical. You got guys that can win faceoffs. Two of them, depending on the side, you can have McCarron take it, you can have Sturm take it, and then Foligno's there to run around and hit people. Defensive core.
Oh, that's funny.
You've got the same top four, like we said. Maybe you have Hughes and Spurgeon, and then Brodin and Faber, but you've got Hunt and Paschal. That's brand new third pairing. I like the looks of that. And then in goal, you have the same tandem, Gustafsson and Wallstedt. Big note here, you're keeping Wallstedt around. That's a big trade chip at the deadline. Maybe something in this lineup isn't working out. You move a Wallstedt, you move a Hartman to get rid of some extra cap space. Maybe you trade Hartman separately for like a late round pick just to get off of him, to get a guy back that you can put in a Danila Yurov spot if he's not working out, just to add to your top six. If some really good player becomes available. That's all I got for this part.
I do like that. I have some questions about the forwards, but that's not your fault. That's the fact that, like you said throughout this video, we have so many fucking forwards on this team. Main question is about Bobby Brink, where he fits in. Obviously, we have a stacked IR list for when players eventually get injured. But I would like to see Brink play. I don't really know though, because this is good. Obviously, you need a center. I also think Hartman third line center instead of first line. He's going to win even more faceoffs because he's going to have like lesser competition on that third line. They're probably going to face off against third and fourth line pairings often. But yeah, it's kind of weird. I feel like maybe assuming all this happens, Hines could sub out like Trenyan for Brink day to day, depending on if it's a team we need like more depth scoring against. Because I feel like Hartman and Tarasenko are like enough identity on that third line that if we need more scoring, we could throw in a Brink. And then obviously Nick Foligno will not be here next year. Robbie Fabry, he is kind of just whatever, just more IR guys. And then Johansson will hypothetically be gone here.
Yes.
So yeah, the only question then is about Brink. I would like to see him get some playtime, but yeah, I do love this. Like you mentioned, splitting up Hughes in favor, maybe. That would be the only thing I would say. So yeah, I think this is a pretty solid lineup. Probably an improvement over what we have now too, given Trocheck and a better bottom pair. So yeah, this would keep us in contending window.
For Brink, I actually do have him being the odd man out, not re-signing.
Ooh,
unfortunately, okay. Now that's not something I want. We just have too many bottom six wingers, whatever you want to call it. I felt like I would rather have him than a Foligno, than a Trenyan, than a McCarron. I mean, technically, but he wouldn't fit the role as well, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think you can move off of a Foligno contract. Trenyan, hits leader, that's great, but I don't think they would want to move off Trenyan or Foligno. You have, take Tarasenko out of the equation, you have a third line right wing spot. You've got 5.9 nearly million in cap space to choose between the two. You can take Brink, who would probably cost less than Tarasenko. When I did originally sign him in like an alternate, when I was trying to make this earlier, it was like a 3x3, 3 years, $3 million. You would have more money at the deadline, so I don't hate that either. But I did take Tarasenko over Brink just because of what he's done goal scoring this year. He's got a little bit more size on the third line, which is important. I love Bobby Brink though, and he's had an amazing run of games so far with us. But I'd pick Tarasenko over him, and he would be the odd man out. He wouldn't be able to re-sign with us, unfortunately.
Yeah. Going with what you said there, I do like seeing now. I'm seeing definitely our fourth line is ideal. Can't get rid of Sturm or McCarron because having a face-off guy for either side in a fourth line is great, as well as all three of them just being big fucking bodies. And yeah, like you said here, I'm seeing now that it is more of an identity line with Tarasenko picking up the scoring. So yeah, quick fold there, but I do actually understand that now that you mentioned cutting Brink, um, because if he's not in the lineup, you don't have to worry about getting him in. So
Yeah.
cool.
Uh,
And I think we will, with Hartman on the third line, our top line especially will have a lot more production. Kaprizov already has 38, and he'll be able to probably push for 50 with that type of center in Trocheck, maybe higher. Yurov, like you said, he is already showing flashes that if he is on a wing role, he can be good. And like you said, I think he will perfectly replace Marcus Johansson for the same price as of right now or as of next year. So yeah, very cool.
I would say looking like if you just take a hard look at all the potential options here, I don't know with the signing of McCarron for that fourth line center role because Nico Sturm doesn't hit as good as he is on the PK. As much as I love him, as much as he does win, like he's won like 57% of his faceoffs to the point in the season. I don't know if they love him just because he doesn't hit at his size. Maybe there's a world where McCarron just plays fourth line center. They're like, I don't know what we see in Sturm. Maybe they try to shape him out. Who wants him? Maybe you give up a late round pick for him. I think that would be a bad trade. But what it would allow you to do is move Trenny into the fourth line and keep Brink and Tarasenko. You would have enough money to make that work. They would have 3.8 million to sign Brink. I don't think he would want too much more than that. I think he'd like to stay here. So maybe if he wanted a 4 million plus, he would take a discount. But there's a lot you can make stuff work here. You want Bobby? I would want Bobby Brink. If the Wild want Bobby Brink, they could keep him and Tarasenko.
For sure.
What we're gonna do now is look at an alternate universe because I do think you have to expect the possibility where Zuccarello retires. If he does, you would want to keep Johansson just so you didn't miss two of your top six wingers. This would make things different. You would have a lot more cap space with Zuccarello gone instead of Johansson. Johansson's not going to ask for a lot of money. We saw that last offseason. So what the Wild are going to do is they're going to make an even bigger swing. They're going to trade Ryan Hartman, Jesper Wallstedt, and their first round pick. I have it in 2029, but who gives a fuck? A first round pick to the Philadelphia Flyers for Owen Tippett. He is super fast. He scores 25-ish to 30 goals a year on a mediocre Flyers forward core. And he's going to play on our first line. He would be that goal-scoring winger that I'd love to see around Kirill Kaprizov. He's at a $6.2 million cap hit. That's pretty reasonable. He is 28. He'll has like 5 more years on that deal. There's not a huge risk there. Great shot, great speed. And then you obviously get Trocheck again. Similar package. Stramel first. Johansson is going to be the second line with Ekenboldi. Keep that together. Your third line is going to be the Krem line. That stays together as well. And then your fourth, same thing. Foligno, Sturm, McCarron. And then I have the same decor. And then Gus starts, and I just picked David Rittich as probably the best available backup. There are some options if you look, but he would be a little bit relatively same price as Wallstedt. But this all, again, fits under the cap, and this would be a pretty interesting alternative as well.
Yeah, I do like that. I think the only way this could be worse is if Kaprizov like fully falls off without Zuccarello because they've been together, I think, his entire career.
Yeah, they have.
Or most of it. So you'd have to see how Kaprizov plays without him. But obviously, you see Kaprizov generating when he gets doubled in third and fourth line minutes from Hines. So I think it would still produce. And I think it'd be like a shaky start, maybe 10, 15 games. And I think it'd skyrocket into a better top line. I think given that we'd have to give up some pieces for Tippett and that we have a top line guy retiring, move everyone up, I think the rest of our team would be maybe like 10% worse. Yurov next year, I think, like you said, will be better than Johansson next year. Yurov on center on third line will have to really pick up his percentage. Fourth line the same. So yeah, I think like 50% at least better top line, 10 or 15% worse second and third line. And then obviously slightly worse goaltending, giving up Wallstedt. So I think this would kind of be like, I'd be happy with either option, honestly. I wouldn't mind either option.
Tippett's a fucking shiny new toy.
Similar. Tippett would be the shiny new toy.
Yeah.
And then our top line's not old as fuck.
Yeah.
Zuccarello on there.
Brand new. That's pretty interesting. I tried what I initially did was I tried to make like a Dylan Cousins trade happen just because I thought that'd be interesting. But he's like he's a little too expensive, and I don't really like him as much as like a Trocheck. But Tippett is like the winger I want. Obviously, I tried to do a Robert Thomas one as well. I love Robert Thomas.
We know.
Too expensive. that trade's, I don't know. I'm kind of on the out on that for now. That is it for this, but I do have one more thing. This is an article here that we saw. It was from The Athletic. And it was on a certain star potentially joining the Wild, their next like blockbuster move. I don't know.
Ooh.
We're gonna have to take a look at it. As you can see here, it's Austin Matthews.
Really quick, before we get into that, what I'm seeing for both these trades, and obviously I think you already had it on previous slides. We re-signed Hughes, we dumped Middleton, and we signed Trocheck.
Correct.
That's your big three.
That's my big three.
You
Regardless,
guys will see that happen.
hopefully.
100%. This is Bill Guerin right here.
Yes, Dilly Garin.
Dilly Guerin. All right. Let's see this article.
Okay, we just read through the article, and it's mostly speculation. Respect news, good, thorough piece, but lots of things talking about how Bill Guerin is respected. You know, he's the GM of the U.S. Quinn Hughes joined because he had some of that prior connection.
Sign American players.
Matthews is the captain. They have that experience. He could want to come here, anywhere but Toronto, pretty much. Maybe he likes cold weather, so he'd want to come here. How do you feel about Austin Matthews?
I mean, I don't hate it. In a recent top 50 video, I'm guessing you were a little surprised too. I was shocked to see Matthews, who was by far the best face-off winner in that top 50 list. I knew he was like good when he played against us, but I didn't know he was that good because I also thought Eichel was good when he played against us, and he's like 48 or something.
Yeah, he torched us in the playoffs and then that last game. But yeah, he's not that great.
Yeah, but Matthews is like, you gotta respect Austin Matthews. There's like, oh, he sucks, oh, he fell off. Like, I just want to say here, he scored like 40. Go to 24. Yeah, he scored 33 goals while injured. He was getting half a goal per game. People are saying he sucked. Like, I don't know.
This year as well.
78 points, 33 goals in 67 games while like lingering injuries is like you're a terrible player. I don't know, man. And look at that dot percentage. It's only going up.
He's been pretty much sensational center since his sophomore season when he was 19 years old. His down years in the past two, his down years. He's missed a bunch of time, lingering injuries, still scoring at around a 40-goal pace. This year dipped a little bit, same with the point totals. But in the last time he played over 75 games, over 67, Selke finalist, 69 goals, most in 30 years, 107 points. Yes, please. Of course you want something like that. Maybe he's never that player again. Who gives a shit? If he can score over 30 goals,
he's gonna be 40 easily. If he's
yes,
healthy.
but over literally that's the minimum he needs to be our number one center. He's fantastic defensively, like we said, Selke finalist, and yeah, he comes at a pretty steep cap hit. I believe it's 13.4 million. But you take, with the cap going up, I believe that's something we can make work. You have to move pieces to get him. This would be a Quinn Hughes type of package. It would be Urov. It would be Wallstedt at least one first. You would be buying low on him if it was this offseason, so hopefully it'll be less than whatever. You probably have to move a Ryan Hartman to make that money work for at least next season. Maybe a Jake Middleton as well. But I would make that sacrifice to make that happen. He will be healthy to start next season. I think he'll be ready, or like July is when he's supposed to come back from his torn MCL. So that'd be something I want to see.
Like a 3-month deadline, despite it looking like a terrible injury, like a career-ending one.
MCL being a big scary word. Yeah. It sounds like the other one that takes a long time. But yeah, I the idea of that is very tantalizing. Austin Matthews being the defensive anchor and winning a bunch of draws for Kirill Kaprizov, and like we said, whoever he plays with on that first line of wing. Really fun. That would make us the best team in the Central, and in my opinion, the best team in the league, if we could get something like that done. I have to stay like a little bit grounded, not get too excited with stuff like that, personally, just to stay sane, but I would love to see that happen.
Now here's my question then. Assuming we get Matthews somehow, we give up Urov for sure. Because I was thinking we'd have Urov on the right wing, top line.
Ooh.
If we don't give him up.
Yeah.
But we probably will have to, and Stramel and Lambos, and get rid of Hartman to get more money, give up Walsett, and give up like a first and like all that shit for Matthews because Toronto's greedy or whatever.
He is.
Who do we have on the right wing or left wing, whatever, the other wing? Assuming Boldy, Eck, and probably Johansson stay on the second line.
I think it would be Zuccarello. I think he would just come back.
You think we keep Zuccarello?
I think it would be, for next year, hypothetically, it's Matthews, Kaprizov, Zuccarello, and then you have Boldy, Eck, Johansson. Like, you just get both of those guys to come back. I think if you went to Marcus Johansson and said, hey, we want you to come back, he would come back for another year. I think if you said, I don't know where you fit in. Our money's tight. Thank you for your time in Minnesota. He would retire, or if he really, really wanted to, go play somewhere else. But it wouldn't be an issue.
He'd retire with one of his best seasons ever being his last.
Yes, and then you would have a third line. Although you would lose Danilo Yurov, you'd have a third line that would be able to have probably Brink and Tarasenko.
Oh yeah.
If Hartman is gone, if that money doesn't work, you go find a cheap 3C.
Maybe bring up Hunter Hayes.
He might be the guy to fill in right there. I know that they like him. They trust him to go fill in. And then you've got 8 different fourth liners to choose from to complete your roster. I think it would make for a pretty scary team. Yeah, I said.
I think our first line at least doubles in power. Our second line stays the same. Our third line dips a little bit. Our fourth line stays the same. Our goaltending dips about 35-40%. Keep Gus. He'll probably get better. Get a worse goaltender than Wallstedt, who will also probably get better. Yeah, I would like this. I honestly, everyone's like, oh, Matthews doesn't play defense. It's not. It's all the Toronto fans speaking. Those are the ones hating. Same with Marner. Marner's a great player. Another Selke finalist. He's, I think, leading the Golden Knights in points now.
Yeah.
So he's obviously good. It's just the Toronto atmosphere, Toronto fan base, Toronto everything. I think Matthews would be happy to leave. So I think if we are willing to trade him, he will come here.
Agreed.
It'll be a lot to give up.
It would be a lot to give up.
In terms of management. But I think Matthews himself will be willing to sign a reasonable deal just to get out of there.
One final thing on Auston Matthews before we're done. If this MCL would have been worse, double leg break, knees bend backwards or something, his career's over. Either way, is he a Hall of Famer? In your opinion,
if his career ends this season,
literally this season.
Ooh.
Here's his numbers. He's played 689 games, 428 goals, 780 points.
That's really tough. I wanna say he could be like third ballot right now. He won the Calder.
He's got a heart.
He won a heart. He just won
3 Rockets.
He's like the best Rocket winner since Ovechkin, and Ovechkin also won a Rocket after Matthews won his first, which is insane. Like Ovechkin's got like 10 or something, 9 or 10. Yeah, Rocket winner, most goals in 30 years, well-being, Selke finalist. I think he makes it. I think it'll be tough. I think it's gonna take at least like several years, and it's gonna take several ballots. But I think he could make it. He's a gold medalist too.
True. Big game player. He's got, if you look at this here, you've obviously have Babe Dye and Cy Denny, who played a long time ago. But you've got Pavel Bure, another guy that was super injury prone, who never won anything come playoff time. Hall of Famer. Mike Bossy, who won 4 Stanley Cups with those Dynasty Islanders, had a long enough career where he was easily a Hall of Famer. And then Lemieux. Those are the only guys that have a higher goal per game than Auston Matthews.
It seems you're an Auston Matthews enjoyer.
I am. I think he would be, and I also think he would be first ballot, in my personal opinion.
First ballot. Ooh.
I think he'd be first ballot. I don't think you've got the playoff they maybe push against him, but he's the best goal scorer of this current generation. Obviously, Ovechkin prior is the better goal scorer. He is no longer on pace to, but after his Hart Trophy season, he was on pace to put up numbers that would rival Alex Ovechkin's. He would probably finish second in all-time goals. Not going to happen anymore, but if he can get to 1,000 games, have relatively decent health, play ideally 70 games a year for the next 4 or 5 seasons.
He's going to get 700, maybe 800.
I could see him comfortably finishing in the top 5 come the end of his career still. Amazing defense. I can't see this playoff levels of performance and failures persisting throughout his entire career, unless of course he stays in Toronto, because that'd be funny. But I would have him on my first ballot. I just think he's so good, and he's his prime. Maybe we've never seen Auston Matthews be as good as he has been the past 3 years again, but Selke finalist, Hart Trophy, 3 Rockets, 69 goal season, 60-ish goal pace for like a 4-year stretch from ages like 23 to 27,
and another 60 goal season.
Yep. I think that prime gets you in the Hall of Fame on your first ballot. At least that would be my vote.
I would say I said second or third. Personally, I'd say second.
Fair enough.
I think the league would say third, or even, I don't know if there's a fourth or just not.
He just wouldn't get in right away.
Yeah, you won't get in right away. because I think they'd break everything down, be like, yeah, he doesn't perform in the playoffs. They basically take team accolades and pit it against him. Obviously, you need to win Stanley Cups, win playoff series to be good. All the talk about Connor McDavid, the best loser of all time. Um, but that's a little bit different. Yeah, I think that he wouldn't get in right away just because of those team accolades or lack thereof, besides a gold medal. But I would definitely put him second, and you would put him first, as you said. So
Completely fair. Yeah. Austin Matthews, please come to Minnesota. That'd be great. That'd be great. If you
I
can
would
stay
like that.
healthy. I mean, we would have
That's another if. He has to stay healthy. We already have guys like
Kaprizov, Ek.
yeah, and then our back end, Spurgeon and Brodin, they won't be here that much longer, especially Spurgeon. But yeah, Ek, Kaprizov, we have generally just an older team, so they're more injury prone, and those injuries will last longer because that's how aging works. So yeah, getting another injury prone guy like Matthews, that is my only gripe against picking him up, is the fact that he is injured right now, and he has been injured many times.
Yeah, you've got, like you said, those five: Spurgeon, Brodin, Ek, Kaprizov, Matthews. Those are all guys that have averaged missing about like 10 games a season. That's not great for like a five really important players for your team. But you take that risk when a guy like Austin Matthews is available.
For sure,
in my opinion.
I still say we take him. Like you said, if the injury's worse, even if it's worse than it is right now, and it's not season ending, but it's like a 4 or 5 month, even 6 month recovery time, I don't think we take him. I think that's too much risk. But I think 3 month, if the Leafs made the playoffs, he'd come back for like the Stanley Cup or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They
wouldn't have to worry.
We'll get a full off season to recover, so I think he's definitely worth taking.
Yeah.
Right now. I think they could take him. I do like that.
Super fun to think about, though. We looked at some off-season stuff. We looked at some of our games. We got a good look coming ahead. We are coming down the final stretch. I think we have 15 games or so to go. 11 games to go. Look at that. So then I
have something new for you too. Here, I'll let you finish first while I pull this up.
All right, but next time we see you, we'll probably get the majority of those, if not all of those recaps out of the way. And we'll have a decent idea of what the playoff picture is going to look like. And that'll be pretty fun to look at. We'll look at some standings. We'll look at some scoring leaders. But that's going to be mostly it for now after this here.
We're going to do something new here. I'm guessing we're going to have our next recap maybe in 2 weeks. We'll have like another special video next week. So we're going to go over the Lightning, Panthers, Bruins, and then Canucks, Senators, and Red Wings games. So since we're doing all those, let's do some predictions for those games.
Great. Let's do it.
We'll start with next week. We have Lightning, Panthers, and Bruins. I'll go first since I already kind of had this on my mind for games. I think we will beat the Lightning. I think it is actually, this is going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a comfortable win. I have it's either going to be 4-2 or like 8-5 or something crazy.
Damn.
That's me.
Depends on who's in that.
Florida Panthers, I think they're the one non-playoff team that will beat because they are a playoff team. They just suck because they're fucking injured all season.
I follow the logic.
I think it'll be tight. 3-2, maybe overtime. Boston Bruins, we're going to randomly lose them. Who's in the going to have a hat trick? It's going to be like...
Ooh, I'd be pissed.
You know what? 4-3 overtime or shootout loss. I'm going back to the basics. 4-3. What do you think for these three?
All right, we'll go Lightning first. I liked your comfortable win pick. My gut instinct is to not be as confident, but I'm gonna go. I'll go 2-0. We're gonna say 2-0. Big shutout for whoever starts in net.
Shout out the Cooch, or shut out the Cooch.
That would be insane. I would love that to happen. And then Florida up next. We saw it earlier this season. I'm gonna go again. We're gonna go an overtime loss to the Florida Panthers. Like you said, they're kind of like a fake non-playoff team. I mean, and you know what that means. But I just don't trust us right now against bad competition. And then the Boston Bruins. This is another one that I wanted to say we lost, but I forget that they're somehow in the playoffs technically right now, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. They're like wild card 1, but they're 1 game out from being like the 5th team in the hunt.
So we'll even if they're not when we play them, we'll say they're a playoff team. I'm gonna say we beat Boston 4-1.
Ooh, gotcha. That was my take. It's either gonna be a close loss or an easy win because it should be an easy win, but it's like I don't know, man.
You don't know with these
I do
guys.
like that.
And then going into this next week, why don't you get us started?
I'll do this one. Vancouver Canucks, we have to beat them, man. I can't do it, bro. If we lose, 6-2, 6-2 win, please, please, please. Don't do this. 6-2. That's all. I'm done. Ottawa Senators. I think this will be close as well. I think this and the Red Wings. I'm gonna go 2-1, and then Red Wings 5-4 overtime.
Sweet.
Not sure. I did specify in the Bruins game it could be an overtime or a shootout loss. I think this and I think I said Panthers would be potentially overtime. These will end in overtime. These two games. That's all I got.
All right. So Canucks game. We'll go through this period by period. I think after the first, the Canucks take a 1-0 lead. Marco Rossi scores a really fluky goal. It's really awkward in the stadium.
Pronek.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shot from the tip, goes off Rossi's skate or something, and then he's kind of like has his moment. Maybe he's too humble to do like a look up at Guerin or something, but he'll be super, super, super excited to score against his former team. And then from there, it's all Minnesota. Spoiler alert. Maybe they get a late goal, but it'll be like what did you say?
I said 6-2.
Damn it. Okay, I'll go 5-2, and they score a late goal in the third. We get 5 straight. Easy win. We definitely lose to non-playoff teams. We don't lose to ECHL teams, so we'll get that one. Ottawa.
Canucks, they're the 33rd best team in the league.
True. Ottawa, that'll be a little bit tighter. Same with Detroit. They're gonna be super hungry to make the playoffs. We might be a lot safer by then. We might be close to clinching. I still think we're gonna win that one. That'll be an OT win, 4-3. That game will be very entertaining. I think Brady Tkachuk will be all over the place getting into it as he does. And then against Detroit, second night of a back-to-back, I'm gonna have them beating us. No, I'm not. I psyched myself out. Detroit's without Dylan Larkin. They're doing their usual collapse before missing the playoffs after being in there all season. 4-2 win for us. Huge game from Bobby Brink.
Bobby Brink, let's go. What do you think? 3 points, 2 goals, and assists?
I'm going to go 4-2 win. Yeah. We'll go 1 goal, 2 assists just to be different.
All right,
but so like then that means for me, I've got 4 wins and 1 regulation loss, 1 overtime. Or no, 4 wins, 0 regulation losses, 2 overtime losses, and you've got
the loss to the Panthers and
Ottawa.
And Ottawa
in OT.
And then I had regulation loss to who did I say? I don't think I had any regulation losses actually. I think I had overtime or a shootout loss to the Bruins, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting 7 points in 8 or wait, how many games are we playing? 7 games? I think we're getting 13 points out of 14.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be good. I think this is the turnaround. I also like this competition. That's why. I think we'll touch over these last 5 games later. I think, spoiler alert, this is going to be a shit show to end the season. But I think these next 8, I think will be better. And just for reference, it is the Kraken, Stars, Predators, Blues, and Ducks for the last 5, with the Kraken and Ducks being at home. I think you guys can kind of get at what I'm doing. They're weird teams, but I don't know. You know how we do against
the Kraken are in the playoffs by April 7th. But like when we play them, we won't be recording because I'll have like blown my brains out or something. I just really can't stand the thought of them being in the playoffs this year.
They're guaranteed first round exit. Just don't put them in, please. It's just a waste of space.
Hello, 13th overall pick. Awesome. Okay, well that was fun. We got our predictions done as well. Thank you guys for watching. We will have another recap for you in a bit. Enjoy this end of the season stretch. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.